Well, well, well. Ain't this fun, guys? Hello, everybody. I'm Isaac, and welcome to Isaac and Friends. I hope you guys are doing awesome today. I just saw this clownfish TV video, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Hopefully, Geeky and Neon don't mind. I'm going to click like on this real quick because I do love their content. I'm subscribed. Big Tech censorship. The FTC is going to start looking into them. I wonder why.
Welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
So welcome to this
And
reaction
we're gonna
video.
talk
This is
about
going to be
Google
fun.
And censorship. And apparently the FTC is going to launch a probe into big tech censorship. So everything is definitely changing very quickly this year because, censorship
Hopefully
was
for
all
the
rage
better.
a couple of years
I
ago.
hope it gets a lot better.
And we're going to talk about
This
this.
shit's getting
Actually,
old.
strangely enough, Wikipedia has a timeline.
Like this shit is getting real old. You don't see the thing is to me you don't, and I can actually even show you don't even have to be political. No politics at all. And they will shadow ban and censor the living shit out of you. And I'll show you this a little bit here in a minute.
Of censorship by Google and other tech companies. So they're admitting
do
to
they?
it now. Yeah. And we're going to talk about, Rumble. I think a whole lot of information is going to come out in all these investigations.
I hope it does.
That we were a lot more censored than we thought we were.
Oh, I'm sure. And then what about the fact that there's a bunch of websites that are now out of business because of the different stuff that Google has done?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to...
If I was those people, I'd sue the shit out of Google. Get a lawyer, sue the shit out of them. Wait until the FTC does their investigation and they get all the proof and then sue the living daylights out of them. Hi, Moon Pie. Hi, buddy. Yeah, meow. He's like, Daddy is energetic and upset. Must meow. He's a good boy. We love you, Moon
I
Pie.
am beginning to think
We
that
love you,
this
little
whole
fuzzy
Google
overlord.
pivot to AI snippets might low-key be censorship. I think that they're going to use it as a plausible excuse. Oh, well, we started using AI snippets. Yeah, the AI snippets are actually from...
You think? Allergy season. Mucus drain, not fun. Anyway,
their preferred partners.
Right,
Reddit
but they were training AI on Reddit, and that's why they
Right.
were telling people to put glue on pizza.
Right, that's why Reddit's a damn... I mean, it's ridiculous. Google has gotten dumber, significantly.
whose bright idea was to train that shit on Reddit? Why? That's freaking stupid. Reddit is a cesspool of just stupidity. It's like trying to use Wikipedia as a source for anything. Like, what? What, bro? Hell, even when I was a kid and we went to going through school and stuff, being homeschooled, if you tried to use Wikipedia as a source, your teacher would fail you. Because it's always been a not reliable source of information. Because anybody and their mother can basically alter the info on Wikipedia at any time they want.
Significantly dumber because of them training it on Reddit. We're going to talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So the FTC is going to look into it, and this is a new guy, again, appointed by Trump, and then I know Brendan Carr is the FCC, and I think they're going to get from both sides. But this is coming from the Hill. The FTC is launching a probe into big tech censorship. They're launching a probe into leading technology companies' content policies and user bans. Chair Andrew Ferguson announced Thursday, suggesting their actions could amount to illegal censorship. Yeah, this is what we saw on Twitter. Remember, it was a conspiracy theory. If you thought that certain people were being shadow banned or certain websites were being shadow banned or deboosted or whatever in the algorithm, that was a conspiracy theory.
Right. But yeah, with Twitter, they've
Until the Twitter files came out, and then it was like, oh yeah, no, this is actually real. This did happen. What's worse is we actually come to find out through the Twitter files, oh yeah, companies were paying people under the table. Twitter employees and Twitter was making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars under the table censoring people that certain companies didn't like, or giving privileged access to the site to various corporations and businesses. And that they would literally, for a lot of people, it was really hard to get verified. But if you're a corporation or a company, you could just pay under the table like several $1,000s or whatever to Twitter, tens of thousands, millions in some cases, to Twitter, and you could instantly get verified for not only your company, but everybody that worked for you. It sounds like corruption to me.
We found out that people were being shadow banned and everything else.
Absolutely. So this guy says, hey, big tech censorship is not just un-American, it's potentially illegal. The FTC wants your help to investigate these potential violations of the law. He wrote on X, we're asking for public submissions, from anyone who has been a victim of tech censorship, banning, demonetization, shadow banning, etc., from employees of tech platforms or from anyone else who can shed light on these practices and in the ways in which they may violate the law. So this is huge. They're going to bust this thing wide open, and I have to wonder with so many layoffs in tech.
About freaking time, too. Let me show you guys something, right? So, I have over 2,000 plus videos on YouTube, right? This is part 2 of my Let's Play of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It has been on the platform for 7 years. 0 views. According to YouTube, somehow, some way, after 7 years, not a single soul has ever seen any of this Tomb Raider video. Or has ever looked at any of the gaming videos past that. Yet, weirdly enough, at the same token, my reaction videos, like my Japanese ghost reaction videos here, 800, 863, I'm pretty sure that those actually had more views. And they've cut them down because YouTube does that too. If you have a video that they think is getting too popular, sometimes they'll take away your views and they'll cut down your likes and subscribe and comments and stuff. These have been on this platform for just as long. 3,750 views, 32 likes. I know for a fact that there were more likes here before. I know for a fact that this had more likes than here before. So what this is, by the way, because YouTube's algorithm works off of view counts, interactions, comments, everything else. So what they're doing is they're basically mucking with your analytics so that you look less popular in the system so they can demote your channel. So if you're like me and you're trying really hard to actually get anywhere, Dead Space. Yeah, whole Dead Space series right here. Right? Bendy and the Ink Machine when it first came out. Five Nights at Freddy's. Outlast. Yeah, we've done it all. Past 7 years. Funny thing that this old digital Storm video gaming computer video, by the way, when we unboxed and showed them when we first got that, 2,923 views, 53 comments, 27. likes, all that stuff. Yeah, this has definitely been altered. Granted, you can't even get that computer anymore. By the way, I ended up actually giving that to Triblowski, our buddy who does Wacky Puppets. But damn, you're gonna tell me Resident Evil 7, not long after it released. Matter of fact, while we were doing the Let's Plays, Markiplier was also doing Let's Plays for this game. Really popular game. Not a lot of views for some strange reason. And just to show you guys, like, you can see here, like, I have plugins that let me be able to do, like, SEO scores, all of that. Been having those for a long time. Hey, new video coming out. Anytime I brought any of this stuff up to YouTube, they will literally send you a link saying, "Oh, well, our algorithm bases discovery on things that people like and what's popular and what's likely to be of interest to them." Really? Sure don't look like it. Right? Because if that was the case, this channel, just looking at my shorts, 500, we've had cases of shorts that are relatively really good with Kitty, right? And sometimes it'll get 500, 600, 1,000 views. And then other times, most of the other time, we'll barely get 30. Gee, it looks really, really like YouTube is full of garbage. Like somebody's lying their butt off, and it ain't me. I'm not altering any of this. This is plain in view for everybody. This channel has over 2,000, I think 200 videos on it that I've put out on this channel.
If we're not going to get some disgruntled workers coming out and saying, no, this is what we used to do. We used to just flip a switch and turn off all the right-wing channels, or anybody that was talking about COVID, or anybody that was
things
talking
we
about
didn't want, right?
things we weren't allowed to talk about, right? People were invited to submit pictures and documents, he said, and can stay anonymous if they prefer. He called the probe an important step forward in restoring free speech. Now, this is where the Hill gets into it. The Trump administration has signaled it plans to curb what it believes has been censorship of certain groups or viewpoints. When President Trump tapped Ferguson for the role, the president said he has a proven track record of standing up to big tech censorship. When accepting the nomination, Ferguson vowed the FTC...
What it believes, no, what it knows. Shit, Trump got banned off Twitter. You think... Do these people not remember or realize that this dude has been personally subject to big tech censorship? What it believes. Bitch, they've straight out censored him. And a number of the people that work for him, you think that they don't know? You think that these people aren't aware? Are you high? Do you lack so much understanding and knowledge that you fail to realize that these people know what you're freaking doing? Nah, you got away with it because the people in charge let you get away with it. Now that you got new people in charge who aren't going to let you get away with it, now you're going to throw a hissy fit.
And big tech's vendetta against competition and free speech. So this is
One second, guys. I got to get rid of this ad.
This is what's interesting about it is sometimes I think it is a political thing, but sometimes I think it's a competition thing. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this, because so many of these voices that have been silenced, they had massive audiences. and they were pulling eyeballs away from legacy media platforms.
Right. And so it's easier just to get rid of them and say, oh, we had to censor them because they won't admit to it, but censor them because, oh, they were misinformation. It was misinformation.
Or the kind of content they put out was not the type of content they wanted out. Right? Like Brendan Herrera and a couple of guys that are gun tubers who talk about firearms, not even necessarily in politics, just talking about guns, right? Gun safety, how firearms work, how they've developed over the centuries, over the years. Educational stuff that would, get people to know more about firearms. Oh, we can't have that. Shadowversity, where they're talking about medieval equipment. Swords, armor, educational stuff about how that works. Oh, because this guy does have another channel where he has slightly different political viewpoints, so we're going to try and silence him.
It's like, no, it was because they were kicking your ass.
Yeah, and that's what I think happened with like Joe Rogan and Alex Jones and stuff like that. Is I think that there may have been they basically waited to find a reason to get rid of people, to get them off the platform, and then they booted them because they were too big, they're too successful. They were making them look bad. When you would put like CNN up against Joe Rogan and their views were ridiculously low compared to Rogan, and this is like one guy with a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's two reasons for that. One, it embarrasses the hell out of CNN because CNN pays millions of dollars on average for editors, studio staff, studio lighting, all kinds of stuff. But a podcast or even a YouTube channel, you barely have to put a lot of money into that. The mic that I have, $60. The audio mixer I have, $40. This camera is about $120. The lights here, I got that one for clearance at like $60. The most expensive things on this table are the $6,000 PC and the two $500 consoles. That is it. So imagine people who spend very little money, relatively speaking. Yeah, it's pretty expensive for most folks, but relatively little money, getting massive viewership, making lots of money, doing little more than just turning on a webcam. You don't think that embarrasses Hollywood a little bit? You got people like Dead Meat, and I forget that one horror anthology group that was on YouTube, right? Great special effects, great looking stuff, great looking content. A fraction of a Hollywood budget with mostly volunteers. You don't think Hollywood doesn't get embarrassed to hell about that? That those people are more capable of making more entertaining stuff that gets better reviews, better ratings? Absolutely. Because and part of that is because it raises competition. Because the thing that I had to tell people, and it's true, YouTube, Twitch, all of these social media sites where you're making content for them, it's the same business model as television. With content creators being basically independent studios where we put together entertainment for you. You watch that entertainment, which then puts ad money in our pockets because advertisers then pay to put ads on the videos to get their products seen, to get the marketing done. So then we get paid through advertisements. And then on top of that, once we have a dedicated and large enough audience, we can then sell merchandise on top of that to help supplement our income. That's exactly what studios do. That's what TV does. That's what movies do. There are entire children's shows from our childhood that were literally toy commercials. Transformers. Toys existed before the cartoon did. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All of this stuff. YouTubers and content creators are direct competition to Hollywood. And they know it. So, of course, they're going to pay YouTube and other companies under the table to try and curtail as much of us as possible.
And that's what's more been thinking about it with the websites. Now, we've covered this before.
No one else is. I mean,
nobody else is covering
mainstream media is not even going there because they love it. Because they're the ones, they made deals that get to stay.
Josh Tyler has been on this, and he's currently in charge of Giant Freaking Robot, which he's basically put on autopilot at this point because he actually went to Google and they just gave him a song and a dance, a bunch of other small website owners, smaller niche website owners, and they don't care. They don't care. At first, I thought this is about.
Of course not, because they're probably getting paid under the table,
people on
making
Google's
tons of
page
money.
so they can monetize them better with the AI snippets. I am starting to believe this actually is just another form of censorship. I mean, it's like a 2-for-1, right? They're getting to keep all the money because they're not sending traffic to the websites. But now they can claim, oh, we're not censoring anybody. We just use AI snippets now. And look, all these AI snippets come up, and it just so happens that all of our preferred partners that we have financial dealings with just happen to be at the top.
Right, and then their competition you just can't find anymore.
Right. And that's it. And that's you're seeing legacy media outlets making deals with Google and with others, for AI.
Well, I'm upset, and I would love them to look into this from the FCC standpoint, and the fact that Google has gone out and destroyed. I mean, they're not even talking about. This is something that you'd think should have been brought to Congress or something, because they go after other little things. But this is like a huge deal. We're talking like thousands, hundreds of thousands of websites, and people's livelihoods and jobs just gone.
Yeah.
What's funny is that, and technically that should run afoul of antitrust laws too. Anti-competitive measures. Plain and simple. It's actually illegal to act, if you control something like what Google does, to actively harm or do stuff that would cause injury to competitors. For either your company or for your partners. And the funniest thing, people are like, I always got tired of people saying, oh, this is capitalism. Like, no, it's not. Capitalism by its nature is all about competition. And what we're seeing is exactly that. We're seeing monopolies. Monopolies exist not in spite of the government, but because of them. Because the government turns a blind eye. Because they either get a kickback from it, or they get some kind of something in return. And we're seeing these monopolies that were being held aloft by those in power are now under threat because those who were in power are no longer in charge. And the people that they were doing this to are now in charge. And surprise, surprise to no one, they want revenge. They want vengeance. And they now have the power to get it. Damn! Who would have thought that could happen? Oh, wait, everybody with a brain cell.
And that's what's so depressing about. Like, Retro Dodo was actually doing well enough that the guy who had the site, he actually kind of busted it wide open. He was doing well enough that he quit his day job. He was doing the site. He just had a kid. And then Google took it away from him overnight. Same thing happened to us. We had websites that we had for years. Some of our websites, over a decade, and they performed pretty consistently. I mean, you always had your ups and your downs and whatever, but then Google, without warning, did this update.
And, they've done several updates, and each update it got worse.
each update,
Which, by the way, is why I actually like these guys, because they've actually been in the business for a very long time. Not only as content creators, but as website owners and stuff like that. They've been at this for a while. So just like I've been saying it for years, they've been saying it for years. So this has got to be some major vindication for them, too.
Yeah, first we saw like half of our traffic disappear, and then Kill Shot was the most recent one last spring, where they basically just turned off the traffic to most niche websites. And it's even hurt, some bigger outlets too. So I think what they're doing is they're showing preferential treatment to their partners, the people they partnered with to scrape their content for AI. And it's they're not going to tell you that, but I think if they look into it, they're going to find out this is the case.
Well, of course they're not going to tell you that. Because if they out and out told you, like I said, technically speaking, turning around and doing that's technically illegal. Showing preferential treatment to partners or to companies that are paying you money, in some senses, is actually considered anti-competition. Right? Especially when... See, one of the ways you could get around that is like if there was multiple tiers of business, like Google had Google Plus or something, and, people who can afford Google Plus, obviously they would get better performance. But they don't. They're proclaiming and saying that we're being totally fair, we're being totally fair. Yeah, that's called lying.
All the algorithm updates, 9 times out of 10, they favor legacy media. And that's what I think it's really about. I think the censorship is political to an extent, but I think it's really about the dollars.
It's going to be political to an extent because most legacy media leans left.
Well, no shit. No shit, it's about the money, right? Anybody and their mother could tell you it's about the money.
Yeah, they're gonna help them out, and there's not enough to get government money like Politico.
Yeah, I know, right? But they're gonna try to.
That is right too, because Politico got how many millions of dollars from USAID? Hang on, I gotta go stop a cat real quick. No, he's quitting. He's like, meow. As soon as I said that, Moon Pie is like, meow. Hey, you, stop destroying stuff. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Kitty cats. You love them, but they are destroying
to
little
take out the
things.
competition too. And it's again, it's like on some level, it's like I vehemently disagree with these people, but it's very easy for us to paint our competition, people that aren't playing ball for our team, to paint them as Nazis and alt-right, conspiracy theorists and all this stuff. And it was so bad with maybe I need to talk to the FTC. It was so bad with our websites.
Do it, Neon. Do it.
One point and we weren't even doing anything that racy, but they actually brought in a third-party company to audit all the websites in the ad network. And they were
to make sure you weren't doing misinformation or saying mean things they didn't like.
And it was like a compliance officer, right? They would come in and they actually had a dashboard you could see on your advertising dashboard, different pages that they wouldn't put ads on or ones that might be dicey, and they were looking for all kinds of stuff. They were looking for traffic anomalies, and they were looking for misinformation, and they were looking for sources. Were you linking out to Fox News? Oh, well, you don't want to do that, right? Because that might be misinformation. Were you linking to Breitbart? That might be misinformation. And they would. And they actually would flag all those issues on the dashboard. And again,
sorry, I'm over here fixing my Warhammer 40K stuff.
But it would have been like 2021. And they were trying really hard to scrub anything they deemed wrongthink off the internet. You're not allowed to.
And non-compliance meant no money.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just it. Then they could turn off your money and they could get, oh, well, you talked about the vaccine, you put.
I mean, shit, that stuff was really out in public because I think Susan Wojcicki, when she was still in charge of YouTube, directly said, yeah, if you say this or talk about this, we will demonetize your channel. Right? If you do such and such, we are going to demonetize your channel, or we'll do this or that. Channels like one of my favorite I used to enjoy a lot was this puppet channel called Smack Talk. Used to do movie reviews. Right? But because he was critical of Disney and several other companies, it's talking about how bad their movies were, they demonetized his entire channel to the point that the guy was homeless for a while. Really popular channel. 80,000 plus subscribers. Lots of views on his videos. People absolutely loved him. I think he came back for a little bit. And he's still trying to figure out what he's going to do to bring Smack Talk back. But if I was this guy, I would definitely talk to the FTC. I would definitely, when this all comes out, sue the living daylights out of them. Right? Because this crap is not okay. And in a lot of ways, it is pretty much illegal. Precisely because of the fact of the kind of damage it does. And the way that it hurts people's lives.
Conspiracy theories out there. You're linking to websites that we don't agree with. And that's how they do it. And they turn the money off. And that's why they're so mad at first with any platform that wouldn't play ball. Because they were all in lockstep, all of them. Even Facebook. I mean, you got Zuckerberg now who's like, yeah, I love Trump and masculine energy, and we're not going to censor people. But Facebook was one of the worst. Mm-hmm. They were absolutely
everything
ridiculous.
was like, community notes, and fact checkers and all that.
Oh, they're fact checkers? Yeah, they fired them. But they said, the leaders of many of America's largest tech and social media companies have sought to warm relations with Trump as he begins his second stint in the White House, with many donating $1 million to his inaugural committee, and in some cases changing policies to align with his anti-woke agenda. They banned Trump from every social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Then these people, and the Hill is just so mad about,
Gee, didn't I just mention that earlier in this video too?
Donating it to his anti-woke agenda. Well, it's an agenda that people voted for because they're tired of the extremism. They wanted let's go back to normalcy, back to the middle.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to go back to that.
No, but I'm just saying that's why people voted for him. They didn't want the extreme leftist, ideology.
It got to a place where even people that wanted to stay out of it were being suffocated.
Yeah.
And
our stuff wasn't even political. Our stuff was about Disney and crap. It wasn't political.
Disney and crap. I heard Disney crap.
It got went from having thousands of page views a day, to being hard to find. And I still do it, but it's nowhere near what it was.
They do this. I 100% believe that on some level they're still doing it on Google. I think they're deboosting. Maybe it's not so much a political thing, but I think it's definitely.
Gee. Something else I've also been saying for frickin' decades, for almost a decade now. Oh my! It's very weird to be vindicated like this. It really is. On the one hand, it's really, really happy to have big YouTubers and stuff, people like that, talking about it and saying oh yeah, this is totally going on. When I've been saying this to everybody I know for years. And some people literally looked at me like I was crazy. Nope, Isaac was right.
Only a money thing, I think, especially as commentary channels, and you have more and more Hollywood types getting into the commentary space and legacy media getting into the commentary space. I do believe... and again, this is just a hunch I have. I can't prove it, but just based on the internal metrics and stuff, I think they are deboosting independent voices again on Google to boost the Hollywood voices and the legacy media voices, because I do believe those people spend ridiculous money advertising. Mm-hmm. You're gonna boost a CNN person or an NBC.
Well, I don't even believe that it's just the advertising money. I also believe they probably are paying them under the table and telling Google, like, hey, either you censor these people or. Because they tried that shit with Twitter or X with Elon Musk. Because they were trying to tell him, hey, you either do what we want or we pull our advertisement. And Musk told them to go F themselves. He told Bob Iger that to his face. Like, these people are so used to being able to control narratives and have control over the sphere of things in media and everything else, that now that control is being ripped away from them almost by force, they don't know what to do.
NBC person or somebody like that, if NBC's spending,
I think it's freaking
boatloads
amazing.
of cash on,
Well, that's
on
it.
advertising.
I mean, YouTube even, they started promoting like these networks like NBC and stuff in their clips, like Saturday Night Live clips and stuff, because they spend a lot of money on advertising,
Yeah, and that's what they do. And the reason, I mean, look, again, the reason the adpocalypse happened in the first place was Disney was involved. And,
But pretty much any apocalypse you can trace it to Disney.
Disney's involved.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Same with X. Like, they were going to threaten to withhold advertising. Now they're back over there. So now what's
Hey,
gonna
look what I
happen
just mentioned.
is we're going to have all these people that were banning, and I'm not just talking conservatives. I'm talking anybody that was, a wrong thinker or anybody that was competing directly against, some corporation or whatever. These platforms
Or a gamer.
gleeful.
Just be a gamer. Right? If you were a gamer on YouTube, it's very evident, especially with my channel. Good gods. Any amount of gaming content I make, just nothing. I make a reaction video to something, and that gets pretty good viewage. A good number of views. Like, what the hell?
Banned or shadow banned people or tried to demonetize people or whatever, for whatever reason, they're all going to be like, oh, no, we never did that. We're playing ball with Trump now. Everything's good now. And I think this is absolutely a vendetta on his part, because again, you're talking about a sitting president that got banned by most of the social media platforms.
You think?
And he went out and started his own
Well, they're
platform.
trying to do that now again, and it's not working, but they're trying to.
Yeah, and it's so. I mean, I think there's going to be a huge
I
paradigm.
mean, bro, it was so bad, Trump literally started his own social media page. His own social media company. Gee!
Shift. I mean, just the other day, Trump is joining the Rumble lawsuit. So apparently, what happened with Rumble?
Oh,
was
darn!
Google, again, cut off.
Hey,
their-
I've been wondering what
their
happened with that.
advertising, or they tried to cut off because a lot of times, if you have your own video platform, or whatever, you can actually use Google's ads. As I understand it, or they basically cut off all the advertising to Rumble because they're trying to choke them out because they were competition. And so there's a whole lot.
Dun dun dun! Gee! Oh, you think? Yeah, that has been going on for a while. For a hot minute. I was wondering what happened to that. Darn! Oh, gee! Now the sitting president is now suing you for the same shit? Oh, it's gonna get ugly. It's getting ugly. Yes. Please do.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on there, and this is about censorship or whatever. But I
Well,
know
that's the
there's
problem too. When most of the ad networks are run through Google, like AdSense and everything is Google's
Yes.
own ad network. So
Yeah.
when you're
Yep.
like on YouTube or doing your blogs or whatever, a lot of the money comes from things tied to AdSense. And it is what it is. So the money they control the ads, and if you don't get the ads, or they limit how much money you're getting, they keep a lot of it or whatever, you're going to have less and less.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's the ad network. Like they'll have their backbone is actually going to be Google Ads, and that's one thing they need to look at, because they were talking before about breaking Google up as a monopoly, but like the ad tech, like Google's ad tech is in everything. Like even if you have a third party ad network,
They should. Google is definitely way too monopolized. They should break it up. They should separate YouTube. They should separate a lot of things. I would personally love to see an independent YouTube. Right? I would love to see YouTube going back to actually being about independent content creators. And I would love to see that happen.
Using Google Ads, and then they're just filling in around the Google Ads with the ads that they bought. So yeah, if Google doesn't like you or they turn you off or whatever, because I know when we've applied for membership or whatever and getting into an ad network, they would double check and make sure our standing with Google was good. Mm-hmm. So it's like there is no free and open internet, and there needs to be a free and open internet. And I think the government is going to have to get involved and just be like, yeah, this censorship has to stop. The monopolies have to stop. We can't just have 2 or 3 tech companies running everything. No. Because it gives them too much power, right?
Yep.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
So
again, guys, feel free to please support Clownfish TV. Watch their stuff. Subscribe. Subscribe to our channel too. But damn, it feels so good to have some vindication. Whoop whoop. I mean, it sucks that this happened in the first place, right? Sorry. Thankfully, like, I have a day job, so I can pay my own bills. So I'm still able to put out content regardless of what YouTube does. But, oh man. Having this come out and having other people straight up say, like, yeah, no, this is very likely what's going on, is so mwah. Chef kiss. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, my friends, and take care.